So on Instagram, I asked you, what was your biggest struggle in your waacking journey? So today I want to read the comments and just address these questions, just offer you my vision, and maybe that will help you find solution of your own. Very good comment. It is very hard to find your personal essence in this dance because I think it has to do with two things. First is to know where the dance came from, and then from there you kind of learn where you can attach yourself, what are the things that connect with you. So let's say for me, I really connect with the stories that are in disco music. I find the women are telling very interesting stories, so I can kind of attach my essence to that. Or also the fact that disco has so much rhythm or a different rhythm, and it kind of attaches to my personal heritage and roots. So I find that to find your own essence, you have to acknowledge what was there before and see how does that connect with you. Where do you find the links? And if that's not enough, maybe try to see your essence, if you have to describe it outside of waacking. If you think, if I was my best self, who would I be? And you think, okay, I would be confident, I would be, I don't know, a fighter, I would go for my goals, then maybe you can try to infuse these in your dance. And I think it's both trying to figure out what is the essence of the dance and where you can connect, and what is your essence, or where do you want your essence to go, and then connect that to the dance as well. In terms of being vulnerable, so for sure, to feel that you can be vulnerable, you have to learn that being vulnerable is a strength. And when I say to learn it, I mean to learn it as an experience, not in your head. So if you're able to be vulnerable, maybe with one person first, maybe your crewmates, 2 or 3 person, then they make you feel safe and they push you, and you tell them, I want to be more vulnerable, and then you let them hold you in that, and you get some positive feedback from there. Then slowly but surely your body will learn that like being vulnerable is safe. So I'd say first you start with the people that already feel safe, and then you can expand that. Okay, now I'm gonna try to be vulnerable in a cipher, and then you go bigger and you go bigger and you go bigger. But I would say that it's to train your body and your mind to experience that vulnerability is positive, and to do that you have to get positive reinsurance in a way. Maybe it could be with yourself as well. But when you look at other people, also go tell them that, oh wow, I really appreciate your vulnerability. So then we can create within our community this exchange of like really telling people when they're vulnerable that it's good, so then we can bring that higher as well and safer for everyone. Integrating technique into freestyle. Getting out of my head. That's also a good question. So the first thing I would say to get out in your head, obviously the answer would be get in your body. Okay, how do you get in your body? So to really be able to use a freestyle to really be able to use a technique in your freestyle, so you have to practice the technique until it's like second nature. A lot of us practice it for like 2 minutes and then we let it go and we're like, yeah, I did my drills. When I mean practice it for a long time, I mean like, 30 minutes every day, 5 times a week. And then these movements will become muscle memory. So then when you freestyle, you don't have to think about them. You just move and they happen. And you have to experience being in your body longer. A lot of us, when we train, we spend half of the time thinking or criticizing our training, like watching the video after we train and it's like, oh, I should have done that, I should have done that. And every time you do that, you go back into your head. So since you're training yourself, you have to take two roles, the role of the trainer and the role of the trainee. So I would say, give yourself a task. Okay, I'm gonna dance for 1 hour nonstop and I'm gonna focus on posing, let's say. And then you dance for 1 hour, you don't stop, even though you have critics, anything. You dance, you dance, you dance, you dance, you film or you don't. And after that, you switch roles and you go into the trainer. And now you can look at what you did and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I could have done this more, that more. But if you're too much between body, head, while you're in your training, what happens is when we go into a cypher or a battle, then we still have this way of thinking as we dance, we are at the same time judging. So one of the advice I would say is to really get into your body and really spend more time in your body, and things will unlock naturally. People used to dance for like 3 or 4 hours at the club. So doing 5 minutes of a drill will not replace the 2-3 hours for months, for years in the club. We have to spend more time doing it and less time analyzing and being like, oh, but I'm not good enough, That's the part where we get stuck in our head. So that's just my thought, but I hope it helps. So breaking out of cycles of using similar movements for similar sounds. And in that same vein, unlearning bad habits once they've become comfortable. There's a lot of layers to this one. So similar moves. I have two opinions on that. My first opinion is that if you tend to do always this move, it might not always be a bad thing. It might be a move or a place where you feel like home or safe, or that it feels like you. So maybe it doesn't need to be pushed away, but it needs to be worked on, developed, deepened, complexified. So we tend to focus on the negative and not focus on the positive. But if a move keeps coming back, maybe it just wants to be happening, you know? So to develop new moves, you can start from the moves you already do and then expand. The other way is to find different things that will inspire you to generate movement. So now here you're talking about sound. So if you're always doing the same movement on the same sound, maybe instead of reacting to the sound or letting the sound be the inspiration for the movement, you can transform that sound into an image. Let's say the boom arrives and then what you see is like, I don't know, the ocean exploding. So then the sound becomes an image, and then that image can inspire you a different movement than if you were just reacting to the pure sound. So using a different different inspiration source to connect to the sound could be a good way to just unlock that thing where you're always doing the same move to the same sound. I'm gonna just read the last part because there was a lot of layers to this. On learning bad habits once they've become comfortable. So it's a bit like I was saying at the beginning. So I tell a lot of my students, when you look at your freestyle, don't look at what's bad, look at what's good. And if you do more of what's good, the bad will also disappear. And since this dance is about confidence, if you focus on the things you like, you will build more confidence than if you build on the things you don't like about your freestyle. And also bad habits, in my opinions, are not bad habits. Again, it's something that you may want to look at. When I started waacking, a lot of my bad habits was like, oh, you move your legs too much, you're not stable enough. So instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna stay on my 2 feet and not move my feet, I decided to actually develop more leg vocabulary. So at that time, I was like researching a lot of, okay, how can I work with my legs? How can I do this? How can I travel? And I transformed that bad habit into actually a tool or a part of my style. So that's kind of what I would say, to focus on the positive, not on the negative, and transform the negative into a strength. Thank you. These questions are really cool, interesting, and I'm really happy to have these discussions with you. But there will be a part 2 because there's other questions that I want to make sure I address. So if you like this, please subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you in the next one.